Good morning, everybody. And unfortunately, we had another person pass away last night, a man in his 70s. So my condolences go out to the family, and my prayers go out to the family and to the other 112 people that lost loved ones during these difficult times, because it is a difficult time, because we can't say goodbye traditionally. And yes, I keep bringing that up. But I say it because I want to remind people out there. I know as we're in phase 2 and more people have come out to work and people are seeing the new world, and still remember things are being done differently. And this family, you can't say goodbye the usual way that you do. So my heart and prayers go out to the family and to all 113 families this has happened to. But the other thing is the testing site that we did on Warren Street yesterday for people that protested and for first responders was a big success. We had 78 people due to the fact we had so many walk-up people and we had more than that we anticipated. We're doing it again this Wednesday, 9 to 11. Same place, Warren Street. It's going to be for anyone. You don't need an appointment. You can walk up. You don't have insurance, don't worry about it. You have insurance, we're going to charge your insurance company. You don't, Work County's going to pay for it. But we do want you to get tested because even though we're past the Memorial Day weekend and we saw a little bit of climb in the numbers, but not enough where we knew we did the right thing. And again, I support the protest. I support what people are standing for, but we have to be smart about it because the coronavirus is still there. It didn't go away. I know a lot of people feel like, hey, I'm done with this. It's been 13, actually it's 13 weeks today. That I did my first press conference on this, 13 weeks to the day. And, I have to say that I get it. I know when people are out, they're tired of being home, they want to be outside, but continue to wear your mask, continue to cough into your arms, and continue to constantly clean your hands. And we'll get through this, and we're going to get through this. So I am a little worried about all the protesting and everything going on with the numbers, but we haven't really seen that much yet. But there's still a couple more days to come that we have to continue to monitor the testing. But as of today, there's 1,778 people positive for the coronavirus. That's up 6 from yesterday, which is good. 672 people under mandatory quarantine. That's up 26 from yesterday, though. And then we stay the same, 3 people under precautionary quarantine. So far, the 4,785 people that have completed quarantine, 1,416 tested positive for the virus, and 18 of them have recovered that number. So that's another good step going in the right direction. The hospitalization rate is great. We have 15 people in the hospital. That's down 3 from yesterday. For a hospitalization rate, again, one of the lowest we've had, 0.84%. It's down from 0.90 yesterday, which I thought was really low. So that's good. Part of the control room that I do every day at 1,400, that's one of the numbers they continue to focus on, hospitalization rates and ICU beds and people on ventilators. So this is all good news for us going forward, and if things work out and our numbers stay the way they are, we'll get into phase 3. We might get into phase 3 earlier. So the other thing is that unfortunately we had 2 extra people in the ICU, so we're up to 3 people in the ICU from yesterday, and our 5-day average is 15.6 new positive cases each day. So the good news is what came out of yesterday about the graduation ceremonies. I know this has been a big question. I have the superintendent here, Dr. Joe Carr, or I say that wrong, didn't I? Carr, I know, so I apologize. From Colony to talk about this a little bit, but it was good news. And this is something that, kids spend 12 years working towards to get to a degree, to walk across that stage. The parents have bigger smiles than the kids, that the kids achieve something and now they're going off to college or whatever they decide to go off to do with their lives. But we were happy to hear yesterday when the governor put out that he will allow drive-in ceremonies drive-in movie theaters, which people are already established and have gone out, and the safety protocols are in place. I know the Jericho, and I'll use this for instance, can hold 450 cars, I believe, but with graduation they're doing 250 with the cars socially distanced, 10 kids out at a time, 6 feet apart or 10 feet apart in most parts, and they worked it out, and which is good. So that's good for people that want to use the drive-in for graduation. I know it was a big issue with a lot of parents, and I even know our own Dr. Whalen wanted to have it happen for her son at Academy. So good for you. We got the green light, and it's going to happen. Everyone that arrives has to stay in their cars, though, and not unless the kids that are getting out, and then the drive-in theaters and the school parking lots and stadium parking lots and other large parking lot venues, which you have seen kids being creative. Voorheesville High School just did one. Shout out to Maddie Jones, who graduated. My wife and daughter were part of that, and there were, all the cars went around to the neighborhoods and socially distanced, trying to make some norm out of this and thinking outside the box. And to the kids that are being creative, to the schools that are being creative, great job. I can just say that, look at, you're taking something and you're reimagining how to do graduation, and you'll have this to talk about 10 years from now, 20 years from now, when you sit around the fire in your backyard or on your deck or in your house. You'll be talking about, hey, remember when we graduated, what it was like that year? Not that it's good that we went through it, but it's something to take a positive approach to it and make it happen. So, like I said, we got some slides up for the drive-in theater. I know Jericho has been on top of this. I talked to other school districts that are utilizing them, and in other ceremonies. So please, by all means, make it happen. And I look forward to seeing the graduations continue to go on social media and watching it on Facebook, but doing it social distancing and doing it correctly. But I don't have the superintendent talk about it, because I know you got more questions on this than I have. So,
well, thank you,
Joe, please.
Thank you, County Executive McCoy. I appreciate the opportunity. North County will be doing a drive-through graduation scheduled for the time and the date that our original graduation was scheduled at the Times Union Center. That will be June 27th, starting at 10 a.m. Our students and our families will be in their cars. We are following the protocols that have been specified by the New York State Department of Health. We will maintain social distancing. There will be one car per student with family members, immediate family members in the car. Students will proceed through a route starting at our junior high school and going around a semicircle that takes us through the high school parking lot. They will be crossing a stage. There will be a photo opportunity for students, and then students will exit out the main entrance at Shaker High School. This was an option. We put up a couple of options. One was a virtual option. This was the other option. This was overwhelmingly selected by our senior students and their parents. We feel that it's, and we're very, very happy to have the guidance from the New York State Department of Health. We feel that it's a fitting end for our students. They get to come back to their campus for one more time. They get to be on campus on the day of their graduation, and they get to leave with their diploma. And we are working diligently with our municipal partners in the town of Colony to make this a great event as possible, given the circumstances for our students and their families.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I know there's probably going to be questions. I do want to remind people there are families that, without cars, need to have alternate accommodations and transportation. So please use social distancing in that case. I know that's going to be a case with certain school districts that need to address. And the other thing that I kind of left off is that there can't be any refreshments or bathroom. I know we got a slide on that. Bathroom access needs to be limited for emergency use only. That was part of the guidelines that came down, and then all efforts to prevent groups from gathering must also try to be accomplished. So these are things that you need to continue to look at and to work on. And as the superintendent here will tell you, the school district's been far ahead on this, and I want to say the kids have also. been out and about on all this going forward. So thank you for all that, and I know there's probably going to be questions from the media, and I know there's going to be a lot of parents out there that are going to have questions, and I can assure you your superintendents here in Albany County and outside Albany County have been on top of it, because I also talked to Ichabod Crane, superintendent, had some questions, and I addressed them like a week and a half ago. So there's been many people reaching out on that, so Joe, thank you. But also, the good news we got to is outside dining, and I know it caught some of the restaurants off guard. They weren't ready, you know, they weren't sure if that was going to happen, because, as you know, restaurants don't fall into phase 3. So, you know, it was great news. It was really great news. But most of them already have come up with safety plans and protocols of how they're going to do things way above and beyond the guidelines from the CDC, from the state, and Tess, who's here with me, will assure you, I can tell you, her at McGarry's Pub have always been above and beyond, and they've been waiting for this day. And I know, you know, one of the things I admire, I gotta say this publicly, I do admire about Tess is, one, she's not afraid to speak up and let you know when she's not happy with you. But
he knows that.
Yes, but the most important thing is she is really concerned with her patrons. And she made the statement that she's going to do this, but slowly do this and roll it out so it's safe for her workers, who she's, you know, first and foremost, that are family to her, and her patrons that are like family to her. So to the people that are going to go out and want to go out to experience the outside dining and feel some type of normalcy, I can assure you at McGarry's and other restaurants in Albany County and throughout the Capital District are doing this in a way that is going to make sure it's safe for their people and safe for you to have that great experience that you always had at your favorite restaurant or your bar, and continue to do it in a safe manner. So, Tess, honestly, you know, I have to say, I'm looking forward to sitting outside. I don't know if I'm looking forward for you yelling at me again.
Well, I will be yelling at you.
I will say that it's the most 13 weeks I've had of you not yelling at me in these last 8 years of when you're not happy with me. And I always wondered why I kept coming back to your restaurant.
That's what everyone thinks.
For that reason. But as we get ready to hopefully get into phase 3 a little bit earlier, that's going to be June 12th, or excuse me, it's going to be June 17th. And, you know, everyone's looking forward to that, to start to get back to some type of normalcy in this new world that we have. But, Tess, please, if you could speak from your experience of what you've been shut down for 2 months, trying to reestablish, keeping your workers busy, doing takeout, and reinventing your whole business has to be a lot of stress.
Yeah, I didn't really want to just talk about me because we are a community. So the good thing is, through this whole thing, the restaurant people have become closer, which is something that hasn't been in Albany in a long time. And we meet, talk, and we get together, and we've been having meetings, because what a lot of the political people do not understand, and what the main public doesn't understand, is things are changing for us all the time. We're constantly getting, you know, updates of what we can do, and it's changing, and you're feeling through it, and you're scared. A lot of us are just scared of doing the wrong thing. We want to be safe. We don't know what to do. Things are changing. If it's changing for the public, you can imagine what is happening for us. A lot of them have asked me to speak about, we need to be able to make changes quickly and have the, you know, local government, you know, support us in it, but it's very difficult right now with COVID and everything else that's going on, so we're all trying to be very patient with each other. I did not want to open right away at all, because I was scared. Obviously, there's so many laws and things like that. I was afraid because people get, because here, like, I'm going to be like a cop, you know, a business owner, a community person, and then I'm going to be saying to people, please socially distance, please don't do this, please don't do that. You know, and then I also have to be concerned about their safety. So yesterday I got on the microphone a couple of times and had to remind everybody, but everybody's just so excited to go out that they need to be patient with the bar owners, the restaurants, and each other, and be kind to each other. We're right now navigating, you know, not daily, but hourly on some of the changes that are happening, and I'm finding that some people, you know, with everything that's going on, they're not thinking about COVID, but I am responsible for all these, and the other restaurant people are responsible for some of the laws. So we're not, you know, we're not trying to be, you know, difficult to the public, but we're also trying to go according to the law. So everybody just needs to be very kind to each other at this time. You know, some of us are still bringing hand sanitizer, gloves, masks to people in, you know, the apartments. You know, there's the Feed Albany thing, and we're still trying to bring food to people on top of reading. I mean, I go home at night and I read another hour of all the changes and the emails that I get, and you know, the downtown bit has been great, but what the positive thing about this is that my neighbors have been wonderful to me, and I'm very appreciative to them with everything that's been going on in the past week. You know, it's been emotional for me because I couldn't be in a better community. You know, the Arbor Hill community has been wonderful. And I also am very grateful to all the restaurant people. I mean, last night we all had a meeting again. How can we make things better? How can we feel these? How can we make some of the changes? But we can't do it individually as a restaurant. We have been supporting each other as a team, and I'm very, very proud of that in Albany. And I don't know if people realize that we're like just one paycheck from losing our businesses. We are at a very, very difficult time. The takeout and the food industry has doubled. And we are just trying to, I'm right now doing cafeteria style because I'm just so worried about doing everything in a proper way. I'm only going to put out a few tables, and just so I can navigate, because if there's rain, what are we going to do with the population? These are the things that people don't understand. We really need to come up with a plan to navigate this together as a community so that we are all doing everything together. I wouldn't even mind all the restaurants getting together and coming up with the same plan so the public isn't frustrated with us as a team.
Thank you. And as always, thank you for what you do in the community, Tess, and really putting that out there. I do want to remind people, as things change, starting Monday, downtown Albany, meter readers are back. Parking meter enforcement starts on Monday. I know the mayor put it out there, but I do want to put it out because I know there's going to be some people that aren't watching this or reading the newspaper and that are going to forget about it, and they're going to get tickets. So just to remind you, Monday morning, meter reading is back, and that they will be out and issuing tickets. So also, one of the things I want to talk about too a little bit was the OT. I talked about elective surgeries, and it was our interpretation, and it still is, that speech and OT and all that stuff can happen in this phase. It's essential, and we put it up to the control room a week ago. I just talked to General Murphy this morning to get more clarification, because we were all on the same sheet of music, but we're just trying to get the guidelines out of DOH, the early intervention office, so we can get that going. I've gotten flooded. I understand parents with special needs. We need to get these kids the help that they need. As Joe can tell us, the superintendent, this is a vital portion of our population that needs to continue to get services in crisis, and we need to get them back learning, get back with their therapist, and get them back on a routine so they continue not to fall behind, they can move forward. So we have addressed that, and we'll continue to address that for all the parents that have reached out. So hopefully I'll get a clear answer at 1400, and we can get DOH to get on the same sheet of music as the control room and get this done. So also, like I said yesterday, I offered to all first responders and to all demonstrators and everyone else, our mental health is available 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., 7 days. The number is 518-269-6634. I did say for the first responders, we would set up a separate line if they needed one to call, or we'd come to the police stations or fire stations, EMS, whatever, any essential worker that was out and needs to talk because of what happened into the protesters. So it's there, it's available, please utilize it. Our 24-hour sexual assault hotline, as always, 518-447-7716, and our New York State hotline and the 211. So again, things are going right in the right direction. We're moving forward. Hopefully these numbers hold as we go forward, and we continue to move in the right direction.